We'll get set up. Let's come on. We'll spread it out just a little bit because we have two on the side and two on that side. All right. Testing. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chief Sean Barnes, Shonbarnes. I have the pleasure of being the Chief of Police for the Madison Police Department. Let me first start by saying violence has no place in Madison or any other community in this country, this great country. Today I'm joined by Deputy Mayor Ruben Sannon, who oversees public safety, as well as Sidney Grady, who is part of the violence prevention team with the Public Health Madison-Dane County, as well as Alder Charles Miazzi and Assistant Chief Brian Austin. We are united on this mission. This is why we're here. We've said it before, and we will keep saying it over and over again, that guns are not the solution to solving conflict or resolving any type of conflict. Two teens suffered injuries when a weapon was discharged inside a parked car outside of the McDonald's on Drayton Drive. The victims were 16 and 18 years old. Thankfully, both are expected to survive. The incident happened blocks away from our North District Police Station. Our officers responded within minutes and immediately began life-saving methods. I believe that these methods saved a life yesterday. I'm fully convinced of that. We are processing evidence collected on the scene, digital evidence, as well as talking to anyone who may have witnessed this incident. And if you are one who may have witnessed something, please give our Crime Stoppers a call, or call your local police station, or just call 911 so we can send someone to get your information. No arrests have been made at this time, as we are continuing to search for those who are responsible and looking for evidence. Due to the nature of this investigation being ongoing, I will not be providing any additional comments on that. For me, as a person who lives here, as a person who cares deeply about our community, as well as all of our officers, this is worrisome. And that last night situation has become commonplace over the last few days here in Madison. We have seen an uptick in crimes involving guns, and that need to stop. Earlier this very afternoon, we responded to a shots fired incident on the city's east side. During this case, someone fired from a vehicle toward another vehicle. We're still on the scene of this incident, and it's very active, and we are working to determine if anyone may have been injured in that case. But I can tell you that in that case, we have recovered 2 firearms. Again, this simply has to stop. I'm calling on our community members. I'm calling on our leaders in the community. We have some elected leaders with us here today that care about our community. And we need to reach out to people, to anyone who may be having conflict, or there may be a conflict that you know about, and we want them not to resolve that conflict with weapons. As of right now, we have seen an alarming number of guns on the street, and I'm going to give you some numbers on that at the end of my remarks. Our officers are working very hard to stop this. The work that our police officers have done just over the last 5 days is absolutely incredible, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that towards the end. Not only are they putting their lives at risk, but they're trying to keep our communities safe. This is a different time for policing. It's a different time for Madison, but our officers are doing this in a way that is procedurally just. They're getting weapons off the street in a manner that's safe. We have had no officers involved with or having to hurt anyone or respond, but they're still taking weapons off the street, and they're still doing their job every day. And I cannot say enough about the work that they're doing and the work of our investigators. We are gearing up for a busy holiday weekend. We are staffed up and the officers are ready. People will be off work and they'll be visiting Madison, and we'll see an increase in our population, and you'll see an increase in our police officers as well. They're ready, they're up for the task, they have their marching orders, and I have full faith and confidence that they'll be at the right place at the right time. What we're seeing regarding these gun crimes is really not our community. We want to return Madison to the safe community that we all know and love, and we believe we can do that. We're ramping up patrols, as I stated, this weekend. We'll be visible in high visibility areas. We'll be in our parks, we'll be in our convenience stores, we'll be in our neighborhoods, and you'll be seeing us out and about trying to keep everyone safe. But as I always say, crime prevention is everyone's responsibility, so we need the community's help as well. In closing, I want to talk about 2 days, the 26th through the 28th. This is 2 days. Our officers recovered 8 guns. On the 26th, they recovered an assault weapon, a .223 caliber weapon. On the 28th, they recovered a 9mm. On the 28th, they recovered a Glock 45. On the 28th, they recovered a Glock 9mm. On the 28th, they recovered a Taurus 380. On the 28th, they recovered what's commonly referred to as a ghost gun, 9mm. On the 28th, they recovered a 9mm. On the 28th, they recovered a Springfield 45 caliber weapon. It's just an example of 2 days of work that our officers are out there doing. I don't know what people think or expect from the Madison Police Department, but we are fully equipped and ready to keep our community safe at all costs. And not only are they taking these weapons off the street, but they're doing it in a way that's procedurally addressed. We haven't gotten complaints, we haven't gotten issues in any of these particular incidences. They're all under investigation. All these weapons will be submitted to the ATF. They have a program called the ATF Trace Forms. We'll be submitting these weapons into NIBIN to see if they were connected with any other things. And if they are, I guarantee you we will hold those accountable. We're developing a great coalition with some of our federal partners, and we're going to be going that way as well. But this weekend, or this week, you'll see officers out. I will be out myself. I'll be out on Friday night riding with some police officers. I'll be out on Saturday by myself. Then again on Sunday riding with police officers. This is all hands on deck. We care about this community. This is an amazing community. But whatever's going on in the last couple of days, it needs to stop. It needs to stop now. And we can do that with the help of all the people that you see behind me and all the people who are in front of me that I can't see, who love Madison and want to keep Madison safe. At this time, does anyone have any comments? If not, we'll take a few questions. Okay? Any questions? Yes, sir.
Two guns that you recovered from the shooting this afternoon. What kind of guns were those?
I do not know. They just called me and gave me a briefing. They're still out on that. Gave me a briefing, but we can certainly get you that information.
Chief, you said, I just want to understand the situation last night. You said a gun was discharged from inside a car. Was that a different car than the victims were in, or the same car?
Yeah, we believe that they were all in the same vehicle when.
So they know each other?
That would be the assumption. However, obviously, you have 2 young people who are going into medical attention surgery. We probably don't want to be getting information from people until they can fully speak about what happened.
So can we say it was targeted then?
We do not know if it was targeted. We don't know if it was accidental. We don't know if it was some kind of conflict. Again, medical treatment comes first. And so, we're looking for additional information from our community that may have it. But for now, that's really all we want to say about that.
Of course, medical comes first, but the community thinking, oh my gosh, 2 people got shot last night. Do you have a good idea, should people be worried, or, this seems to be targeted? Do you kind of know maybe who you're looking for?
We don't, but it seems that obviously if they're all in a vehicle together, that's some type of known relationship. Thank you.
So is your message or your tie-in, without giving any more information about this particular case, that they shouldn't have had possession of a gun to begin with, hence you're trying to be taking 8 guns off the street in 2 days? Is that what you're going for?
The message is really clear, is that there are too many guns on our street. And it's not about where these guns are ending up. It's about the responsible gun ownership. And a 16 and a 17-year-old being shot is not acceptable. That's really the message. And we need the community's help, because your loved one and you know where they are or what they may be involved in. We are going to be out in full force as we have been during the beginning of this strategic plan. And this is just a snapshot of some of the work that has gone on during this summer strategic plan and the strategic plan focus, because that's why we're trying to stop anyone else from being hurt with the weapon. But we can't do it alone. We need the community's help. We need their support. We need everyone who may be involved with the local group or civic group have an activity. But have an activity during the time where people are more or less likely to be involved in something. Have an activity at night. Open the doors of your organization and allow kids to come in and give them a safe place. Give them something to do. You know, it's amazing to me that with all our resources here in Madison, we do have resources here. People will tell me all the time, they'll say, Chief, the problem is there's nothing for these kids to do. And I just don't believe that 110%. I believe that there are things that we have to do, that there are things here to do for our children. We have to open the doors and open them at a time when they want to come in, and we have to meet them where they are. We can't always expect for people who are in need to come to us. Sometimes we have to come to them. And I'm very fortunate to be in a city with a big heart, a charitable heart is here. And so we're just asking for a little help from our community. That's my message.
In relation to what you're just talking about, having things to do, the other guns you listed off, do you know where those are covered from, teenagers or 50-year-olds? Is there a tie there also?
Yeah, I think there's a tie there. Some of them are from cars and from young people who were involved in things. Obviously, there's still an investigation, right, involving the way we took these weapons, but we're not really seeing, if you're asking if there's a correlation between the age, I'd probably have to look at the data to say that for sure. But to me, it really doesn't matter. Whether you're 16, 15, or 57, if you're using a weapon to harm someone, that's a problem for us.
Chief, you said that there's an uptick in gun violence. Can you be a little more specific on that? Do you have numbers, or what are we kind of comparing this to? And are there any links between this recent gun violence?
Yeah, we're comparing it to the number of shots fired calls that we're going and actually having either a vehicle or structure or someone being struck by gunfire. And last year we started to see the same thing around July 4th, which was really one of the reasons why we started the summer strategic plan. This is the second year that we do that. So we have to pay attention to what we call trends in the data and the particular times of the year when we're more likely to see gun violence. We don't see it all the time. And indeed, our shots fired call were down. I haven't seen them recently, but after this week, we're probably going to be even. But the idea is to reverse that trend. And the way you do that is you have to interact early on. You have to get good intelligence out quickly, and you want to stop a spree or a pop-up from becoming a hotspot. That's what we do not want. So the analogy that I always give people is, if you've ever been camping, you start a fire with a couple of sparks, right? And then you add some more, and then it gets a little bit bigger. But before the end of the night, you have a nice warm fire. But we don't want to get there. We'll have sparks here or there. Every city does. Every city does. We'll have sparks here or there. But the idea is not to turn it into a full-fledged fire. And right now, we're at the point where we do not want that to happen, which is why our officers are working so hard. Our detectives are working so hard. Everyone is on board. Again, I'll be out there this weekend riding along with some officers, making sure that everyone knows that they're supported. But we need the support from the community as well.
16, 17-year-old, were they from Madison?
I don't have that information in
Do you
front
know
of
how
me.
many times either of them were shot?
I don't have that information. That would be something that the medical personnel would have. So.
You mentioned digital evidence you were looking at.
Yes.
We also saw last night, I don't know, a vehicle kind of being towed away and almost looked like a shipping container. What was that? What were we seeing?
I wasn't there when the vehicle was towed away. Obviously we want to try to preserve evidence. I'm not sure what that was. I can certainly. Yes.
I
You
know
want- come on,
generally
come on.
our tow companies have special vehicles that can take away a vehicle contained. Again, as the chief mentioned, a lot of times it's to preserve evidence. If windows are broken out, we don't want the elements to get in. We don't want evidence that may be inside the vehicle to leave the vehicle. So it just helps kind of keep our chain of custody there.
Was that the vehicle that the shooting happened in?
I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but if it was on the north side, then at the
At the
McDonald's,
McDonald's.
yes, that would be the vehicle.
All right, we're going to end it now, but thank you for coming. And again, you know, our message is really simple. This is going to be a busy weekend for us, as it is. It should be a weekend to celebrate. Most people are off. Please enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Be safe. If you see something, say something, give us a call early. We'll be out there, you know, just to keep everyone safe. If you see a police officer, give them a wave or a thumbs up, and let them know that they saw you. And that's what our message really is for us. And we continue to work hard. We continue to get guns off the street. We continue to do it in a way that's procedurally just. We continue to investigate cases and hold people accountable. And that's what we're going to do for our city. So thank you so much for coming.
Real quick, do you have a location of the shots fired today on the east side? Okay.